to the second half of part 5, Scandalous. We left off with row 35 and we are continuing today with row 36 and hopefully all the way through to 40, which is the end of part 5. I hope that it won't be too loud and noisy outside because I have visitors in the garden helping me with cleaning the garden paths. Yeah, while I'm just frolicking around with my crochet. So let's pick up our yarn. Row number 36 is worked on the wrong side. So we are starting with a chain 3 and then flip your work over to the wrong side. Now we're going to make 17 double crochets. 15, 16, 17. Now we've got 2 stitches left before the decrease stitch, and we're going to make 5 double crochets together. So we're going to use this stitch, this one, and this one. Yarn over, first stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, again the next one, next one, and the next one, and the next one. So these are 5 stitches, and you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all of these 6 loops. Next, we're going to make 11 double crochets. So a double crochet into the next 11 stitches. 11, which leaves us again 2 stitches before the decrease stitch, then the decrease stitch, and we're going to use the next 2 stitches. So that's the repeat. We're going to make 5 double crochets together and afterwards 11 double crochets, and we're going to repeat this. I'm going to see you right at the end so that you can see what we're doing there. I'm now here at the last decrease valley, so I'm going to make 5 double crochets together. Sorry, just had to close the door because of the noise outside. And now we're going to double crochet to the end, and it should be 17 double crochets. 16, and the last stitch 17. So we've now got a stitch count of 395 stitches. That's 2 times 17 stitches on either end, or 17 stitches on either end, then 31 times the decreases here, so 31 stitches, and 30 times 11 double crochets between the decreases. That's 395 stitches. If you have a different stitch count, don't worry about it. You're going to manage anyway. You don't have to rip back. We're just going to be inventive. So now row 37, row 37 is worked on the right side, so we are chaining free, chain free. Flip your work over to the right side. So first we're going to make 6 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 5. Now we have 11 stitches, so we're going to skip 5 stitches. And we're going to make a single crochet in the 6th stitch. It's quite a mouthful for me. And we're going to chain 5 again. And we're going to double crochet into the decrease stitch which we've made here. And make sure not to use this one, because this is the loop which belongs to the stitch before the decrease, because you're looking at it from the other side, you know. So you have to choose this one here. Make a double crochet there. Okay, and we chain 5 again. We're going to skip 5 stitches, and we're going to make a single crochet right there in the middle. We're going to chain 5, and we're going to double crochet into that decrease stitch, and that's the repeat. Okay, we're creating chain 5 spaces, and we are crocheting in the middle of these half arches with a single crochet in the middle and double crochet in the valleys. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to see you right at the end. We're going to finish off with a double crochet 6 times. Well, time has flown by since I started making this round. We've got visitors, my parents. It was my parents' wedding anniversary today. They got married in 1966. So we had a bit of a celebration, and now it's 5 hours later. It's almost, well, it's just after 10 o'clock at night. And I thought I would see how far we get, unless the light is really too bad. I made all the chain 5 spaces with a single crochet and double crochet in between here, and I've just made the last single crochet in that loop, and we're going to chain 5, and now I'm going to skip 5 stitches, and then I'm going to make a double crochet in the last 6 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6. And that was round number 37. fasten off your color 4 because we're going to change color again in the next round. So this is what row number 37 looked like, just making these chain 5 spaces. And not only are we going to change to our color 3, which is peach blush in my case, we're also going to change the shape of our shawl back into a kind of triangle. So with the right side facing, the first thing you do is to mark your center. So we've got here the B, and if you go up, you see this here between the hearts, that's the center, and then you see these bigger spaces here, that's the center, and then you've got that hole, which is the center, that stitch, which is the center, and so our center is this double crochet stitch. Mark that with your stitch marker. Okay, and now we worked row 37 on the right side, and row 38 is also going to be worked on the right side. So instead of flipping over, we're just going to look at our first stitch on the right side, which is this one here, not the chain 3, it's this first stitch here. You can make a chain 3 again and then start in the stitch, but I think that adds a little bit too much bulk here. So instead I would like to show you a standing double crochet. Attach your yarn to your hook, and now what you do is you look, here's your first stitch, hold your yarn and hold your knot on the hook, yarn over, okay, hold this in place so that it doesn't untwist. Then you put your hook inside the first stitch, take up your yarn again, still holding your loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through. Now you're going to get hold of that tail with your thumb and your middle finger of the left hand, and now you can let go. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your standing double crochet made. And from now on we're just going to continue. The first stitch is actually an increase, so we're just going to make another double crochet in the same stitch. There you go. And now we're going to make 5 double crochets, and now comes the repeat. Make 5 double crochet in the chain 5 space, skip your stitch, and then 5 double crochets in the chain space, skip your next stitch, 5 double crochets in your next space, skip the stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip the stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip the stitch, and so on and so on. I will see you right before the center stitch. So here we are. I've got my marked stitch here, and I'm going to work with 5 double crochets into the chain space before my marked stitch. Now take off your marker because that would be in the way. Before we continue, we are going to make 2 trebles also in that same chain space. 1 and 2. Now chain 2, skip the stitch which had been marked, and in the next chain 5 space make 2 trebles and 5 double crochets. One, 2 trebles, now 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your new tip. Here you can put your marker back into that tip, just so that it's really obvious where our tip is. Okay. And now we're going to continue like we did before. Skip the stitch, make 5 double crochets into the chain space. And I'm going to continue doing that right to the end where I'm going to see you again. So I've just made my 5 double crochets in the last chain space. Now we're going to make 5 double crochets in the stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we've got one last stitch left, and we're going to make an increase, so make 2 double crochets in the last stitch, and that's row number 38. Row number 39 will be worked on the wrong side again. So chain 3, flip your shawl over to the wrong side, and now we're going to double crochet to the chain 2 space, which is the one here at the center. Okay, just a simple double crochet row. Going to do that, and I'm going to see you in the center. So here I am at the last stitch before my marked center. going to double crochet in the last stitch. Now I'm going to remove the marker and into that chain space we're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2. I'm just going to put my marker back into that center chain space so that I don't lose the marker. And now we are off to double crochet along the other side. I think I will keep this for tomorrow morning because the light will be much better then. So I will see you for row number 40. And we're back with better light. Last night we have started with row 39 and we've done the chain 3. Then I've done all the double crochets. Chung, 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 chung. And then we are here. I've made 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in our center. And now I've started the other side, double crocheting to the end. So let's do that, and I'm going to see you for row 40. Here we are. I finished my row 39. We've now got the 169 double crochets, then 2 double crochets plus chain 2 plus 2 double crochets in the center, and then another 169 double crochets right to the end. Okay, so that's 171 double crochets on each side. Now we're going to work row number 40, which is also the last part of part 5 Scandalous. So you're right here, and we're going to work row 40 on the right side, chain 3, flip your work over to the right side, it's getting trickier and trickier to show you because it's growing so much. And then we make 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, which is the increase so that our shape will stay the same more or less. And then we're going to double crochet to the chain space, which should be, we took 1 stitch away, so it should be 170 double crochets until you reach the chain 2 space. This section is rather plain, just like after every scandal, people are lying low, pretending nothing ever happened. So yeah, just also this will stabilize the shape of the shawl after this freebie frilly bit here. So that's the whole point really. I'll see you at the chain space in the center. I've reached the last stitch before the stitch marker. So 1 more double crochet, and I'm going to remove the stitch marker and into the chain space we're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. 1, 2, chain 1, 1, 2 double crochets. And now I'm going to make 170 double crochets on the other side before making 2 double crochets in the last stitch. I'm going to see you right at the end of this row. Here we are right at the end. I've made my increase at the last stitch, and now we're going to fasten off the color free. So well done. This is the end of part 5, Scandalous. The next part is going to be called Secret Adoration, and that's going to be part 6, starting with row 41, and we're going to work on the right side. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you for part 6 in the near future. Bye!